At a recent press event, Biden was doing a little fear mongering about Russia, nothing unusual about that. But he made a comment that a lot of people are pointing out because it not only lacks historical context, it just lacks even like the basic history of US foreign policy. And it's let's just play the clip and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Let's get this straight. How would it be if the United States were viewed by the rest of the world as interfering with the elections directly of other countries and everybody knew it?
We do interfere with the elections of other countries, and everybody does know it, apparently, except for Joe Biden. Now you could, some people, I'm sure, will like want to chalk this up to like Biden just simply forgetting this long history of U.S. involvement in this sort of thing. But I honestly don't think so. I think that he is operating more under the mentality of just it's not the same when we do it. It's not really like he genuinely, if you ask him, he doesn't view the engagement in these activities as wrong. He thinks that it's fine when we do it. It's bad when Russia does it. It's bad if China does it. But when the U.S. does it, it's a different story. And there's just so many egregious examples. I mean, during the Cold War, there's just relentless. I mean, I saw a piece one time. It was like over 70 times that the U.S. tried to change the governments of other countries. Now, it's important to keep in mind, the people will say, "Oh, well, it's just the Cold War." Um, but even then, I mean, we're talking democratically elected governments that were overthrown. Jacobo Arbenz in Guatemala, Salvador Allende in Chile. These are they were elected. These were voting, and now it came after the fact. But we also engaged in like interference in elections. Trying to get what we wanted done. And after the Cold War, I mean, we had Jean Bertrand Aristide in Haiti. We had literally the Obama administration, which Biden was a part of. It was the coup in Honduras that the U.S. backed. And then, I mean, the most recent one that I can think of off the top of my head was Evo Morales in 2018 in Bolivia. So this is so many examples that we can come up with of the United States engaging in this. And I mean, if we want to talk about the present, you could say, oh, all of that was before the Biden administration. Currently, the United States, the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, has spoken on this a number of times. The United States' official position under Biden is that Juan Guaido is the president of Venezuela. He's not the president of Venezuela, as many people, no matter how much you want it, Maduro is the president of Venezuela. Now, there are some people that will say he's a dictator. I think that there's a lot to be said for that. I'm definitely not a fan of Maduro. I think that he's engaged in a lot of very authoritarian things that I don't agree with. But the United States is very much interfering with the how can I say I don't want to say electoral process because I am very sympathetic to people that want to call Maduro a dictator. But we're still in Syria. We're still in Assad, also a dictator to be fair. But not much more than Maduro. I think it's much more fair to call Assad a dictator than Maduro. The point is though, is that this is something the United States continuously engages in, and to ignore that, I think does a real disservice, even if it was just misspeaking. For if he's not going to come out and put out some sort of correction on this statement, which I really doubt he will, it's I don't know. It just shows that Biden is very much the old guard. I don't think that we're going to have presidents for very much longer that don't acknowledge this sort of stuff. I think that this new crop, if because you ask AOC, you ask Ilhan Omar, you ask Rashida Tlaib, you ask Cory Bush, Jamal Bowman, they're going to tell you like what the U.S. has been engaged in. You ask Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders will tell you this, but Bernie Sanders is obviously an older politician, but still I feel like represents the new guard of the Democratic Party that's coming up. Republicans, I think it'll be quite a long time before they're willing to acknowledge these sorts of things. But I don't know. I think that Biden, there's a good chance that Biden is the last Democratic president that doesn't acknowledge these crimes that the U.S. has been involved in. And so I am optimistic about that idea, but we have at least 4 more years of this. And it's some people will say it's a little thing, but when we're going to fearmonger about other countries, it's important to remember we can control what we do. We can't control what other countries do. We can have problems with it. We can condemn actions, such and such. But at the end of the day, we have the most control over what we do. And when we've been so long engaged in these negative tactics, it becomes incredibly hypocritical, at least, to try and call them out for other countries. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you disagree with anything I said, please leave a comment down below. But if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe and have a great day.